Welcome back to Who Wants to Know and our Fields of Screams investigation. Tonight, we're looking at an unusual piece of film, its history and origin. We'll also look at other events eerily similar to those recorded on this old piece of celluloid dating back to the 1920s. After apparently languishing for decades in some unknown repository, this old reel of film was purchased a few months ago on eBay from a seller in central Illinois. It was bought by a well-known Hollywood producer-director. To keep his identity confidential, we'll call him Woody Johnson. After viewing it, he was intrigued by the apparent discrepancies between the film's age and subject matter and attempted to contact the seller again. But Mendota, Illinois is a long way from Hollywood. Mr. Johnson, tell us about it.
Well, Dick, here's what happened. This film was almost surreal.
Surreal.
There were things about it that it just didn't make no sense, and I thought it must be some kind of practical joke or eBay scam.
eBay.
After watching it on my old Bell and Howell, I wanted to see it about 12 more times right then. I mean, there was an alien and everything.
Unbelievable.
But the film was so old, it was a cracking and a peeling around the edges. I didn't even dare rewind the darn thing. So I sent it out to be transferred to a lab, a film lab I've been using for decades.
Yeah.
Well, then I tried to call the dude I bought it from. The phone was disconnected.
Disconnected. What did you do?
Checked with the phone company for a new number. They said the phone number I had was bogus to begin with. Never existed.
Wow.
And here, I just talked to the guy a few days earlier to arrange shipping.
Holy cats.
So I'm thinking, that's weird, and I better get a hold of eBay and find out just what's going on.
You think?
But that was on a Tuesday, and I was leaving in a few hours for the Western Open to do some publicity and shoot around with my good buddy Tiger. That's in Lemond, Illinois, which is just down the interstate from Mendota, where this Mr. Film came from. So, after lunch with Phil and Tiger on Wednesday, I figured I'd have the limo run me over there and check it out.
Woody, are you sure you didn't have any white lightning in the limo?
Now, I admit I had a couple of cocktails on the hour drive over, but it's not like I was dropping acid or something. I get to the place. There's this old rickety shack that looked like it hadn't been lived in for 99 years. Roof was a mess.
I see.
Walls caving in and so forth. So I called back and had him read the address off the shipping label. 869 Valley View. That was it. I was at the right place, but nobody lived there since Ronald Reagan was in diapers. Well, yet I mailed a check to that address, and it got cashed.
Yeah.
Well, then I took that picture you just showed. Didn't have time to check it out more because I had to get back for the dinner.
We sent our crew to Mendota to investigate. What they found at 869 Valley View was even more surprising.
Hi, I'm Dizzy Simon, and we're here in Mendota, Illinois, tracking down the source of the mysterious film. We happened to arrive just in time for the National Sweet Corn Festival. It's a time when the whole area is obsessed with corn and celebrating the economic bounty that corn brings to this town in the heart of the Illinois Valley. The cheerleaders are cheering. Others are literally screaming with joy. There are even people dancing in the streets, but beneath this festive exterior, a sinister presence is making itself known. Without corn, Mendota might not be able to survive. With corn, none of us may continue to exist. So here's the problem. We arrived at 869 Valley View, and instead of this, what we found was a park and a volleyball court. So where's the house in this picture? Maybe we can get some help from one of the neighbors. Excuse me, miss? We're here with Ivana. What can you tell me about the house in this picture?
I've never seen this picture before. I've never seen this house. I've lived in that house my whole entire life. This used to be a park. People used to walk their dogs around here all the time, and it started to smell like poo. But then they put that volleyball court there and planted a bunch of flowers, and it's starting to smell a lot better now. But I've never seen this house before.
Well, this house used to be right here. You know nothing about the house?
You know,
right
I
here?
think this is some kind of hoax. I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but it's not funny. Why don't you go ask the park district?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for your help. Maybe we'll just go and do that. Well, we checked with Mendota Park District. According to their records, the park's been there since the 1950s, and the volleyball court was just installed 11 years ago. So what happened to the house in the photo, and where did the mysterious film come from? Dick, we'll let you follow up on that while we visit with our affiliates, WMKB Radio. This is Dizzy Simon from Mendota, and I'll be back with more on this later.
Thanks, Diz. We'll catch up with you when you get over to WMKB. Mr. Johnson, what happened after you left Mendota?
Well, Dick, I got back to L.A. on Friday, and the VHS transfer was awaiting for me.
Yeah.
I watched it about 20 times and still couldn't figure out how a 1990s alien got into a 1920s film.
Yeah, go figure.
I called an old friend at Paramount and had him come over and take a look. His reaction was pretty much the same as mine.
And what was that?
He took the old film over to their labs and had it compared to dusty films from the archives. Said it compared to old Kodak film stock from the 20s. And the most recent film they had of the same type was Jory and the Stanley Steamer, produced in 1925.
We sent the film over to Kodak for analysis. We also interviewed graphic artists at Industrial Light and Magic to get their opinions on the feasibility of the special effects used in this film. What they reported was amazing, and we'll be back in a moment with more on that.